Hello and welcome to BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, where tonight hostilities are renewed in the East Midlands as Loughborough students host Nottingham Trent on the first 15 pitch here at Loughborough University. The home team still searching for their first BUCS Super Rugby win of the season. By contrast, Trent are 2 from 3, coming off the back of a victory against last year's finalists Cardiff Met and thriving in their second season of BUCS Super Rugby. Well, we're taking our life into our hands a little bit out on the pitch ahead of the teams doing their final warm-ups, but it gives me great pleasure to welcome Max Hill, Loughborough Students Performance Squad member. You're having a Wednesday off today after a big performance on Saturday. Great to have you here and lots to look forward to this evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, results haven't been going your way in BUCS. You've had a couple of narrow misses, of course that fantastic draw against Exeter, but plenty of positivity in the camp ahead of tonight.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to tonight. Boys are raring to go. We've had a great training week. We've sort of started to change up our training week a bit, going head to head with the National 1 team on a Monday night. So yeah, boys are looking to get the win tonight and really push forward. Well, let's take a look at that league table. It doesn't look particularly good reading for Loughborough at the moment, but there are some big names down the bottom. Leeds, Beckett there as well. Durham, the only undefeated team in BUCS Super Rugby, but of course another selection of fantastic matches to look forward to this evening. Durham host Hartpury in the second versus third clash, and it's Bath versus Exeter, the Southwest Derby as well. Beckett host Cardiff and Northumbria host Cardiff Met, and it's so difficult to pick a winner in any of these matches. Of course, Max, it was Trent versus Loughborough, match 1 of the season. It was perhaps a shock win for Loughborough when Trent took that victory. However, you can't underestimate any team in this division. No, I think over having been involved in the last 3 years of the BUCS Super Rugby, you really can't. It started off quite a weak tournament, but over the last 2 years, you've really seen it picking up. Every team's a threat, and every week's going to be a tough game. There's no games that you're sort of putting to the side this year and thinking you can trot over. Well, we are counting down to kickoff. Of course, BUCS Super Rugby would not be possible without our friends at Yoti. If you're not sure what they're all about, then make sure you do Google them, follow them on Twitter and all of the socials, and take a look at this advert to find out a little bit more.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and quite versatile as well.
Well, thanks once again to Yoti. Without their support, these productions and this league would not be possible. Speaking of productions, our first of the season was Nottingham Trent versus Loughborough at Lady Bay, one of the matches of the season. If you missed it, you missed out, so take a look at some of the highlights.
Loose tackles, but Harry Graham's brought down. Here's Jack, the captain, for the line, and he opens the scoring. It's been relentless pressure from Nottingham Trent, and it pays. Inside 8 minutes, it's Trent 5, Loughborough 0. Trent hold firm. Kilgallen waits to the right-hand side, but Loughborough keep it narrow. Referee taking a good look at this. Oh, the try's been awarded. What a physical presence he is in midfield. Little chip over the top, looking for Atta. It's been dropped and pounced upon. It's a second score for Loughborough students.
Bringing players around the corner, and that's one of those things which happens with a rugby ball sometime. I'm sure Max Craven there would argue that he did ground that ball.
Just a metre short here for Trent. And they've equalised. Well, the pressure told. Was it Cecil McCarthy who got the final touch? What's going on? This time, it's a successful ball to the middle. Davis Moore, the recipient. Good counter drive here from Loughborough, but Trent just starting to gather momentum. Got Riddington adding weight in there as well. And they're over once more. All 3 of the front rowers over the line for Nottingham Trent. For Loughborough. Oh, lovely inside ball. Priestnell into the 22, finds the offload to Anfield. The tackle's missed, and Anfield gets over for Loughborough students. There's space to the right hand side if they can get the ball there. Bittram jogs to the left. Over the line, and Loughborough back into the lead. Ball's at the back, it has to come out, and it's Broberg with it in hand.
Let's go!
Oh, wonderful line, and it's that man, Alex Goebel. Surely he's won it for Trent. Well, it's highly likely this will be the last play of a pulsating match. I told you at half time, didn't I? This is a league to stick with. Always delivers the drama. Matt Riddington to win it for Nottingham Trent. It's a full chase from Loughborough. Through the uprights. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. Nottingham Trent left it late, but that is their first victory over Loughborough students. Full-time here at Lady Bay. Nottingham Trent take it by 2 points, 29-27.
What a fantastic opener. Alex Goebel breaking Loughborough hearts when the clock was red. Of course, you were a part of that matchday team in African Violet. What were your thoughts in the immediate aftermath?
We were actually quite pleased with our performance, quite an inexperienced team. Nottingham Trent have really moved on over the last year. They've obviously had a good pre-season, coming stronger. A lot of the boys familiar faces from playing last year. I think we took a lot of positives from it. We looked at our game management and training next week and how we could push on, and obviously you saw the benefits of that when we came against Exeter and got that draw against a good Exeter side.
Well, the last two times these teams have played, they've been separated by just 1 point. Those were the thoughts of Max Hill, and before the match I got the thoughts of both coaches, Alex O'Dowd and Nathan Smith. Well, Alex, when we spoke in round one, you said you weren't here just to make up the numbers. I think everyone can see that now. It's been a great start for Nottingham Trent.
Yeah, it has. I think we've got a bit more experience from, as I was saying before this interview. We were talking about our players that we've got from last year. A lot of them were first years last year. They've got a year of experience under their belt, and I think it sort of means we've got a little bit more depth that we didn't have last year.
And also the scalps you've taken. Of course, the first ever victory against Loughborough, followed by last year's finalists Cardiff Met put to the sword. You must be riding pretty high.
Yeah, there's a bit of confidence. Obviously, if you win, it breeds a bit of confidence amongst the boys. But we're under no illusion that you've got to put it back to back. And each week, any team can beat any team in this league, I think, at the moment. You've seen how well Cardiff have done over the last couple of weeks as well, and new to the competition. So for us, it's really about just making sure we try to be better every week. That's the key for us.
Looking at the team sheet, a few new names again. I mean, putting out a consistent 15, very difficult in this league. A few injuries, but still a strong squad today.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's trying to be consistent week to week. We're sort of, our forward pack's sort of semi-consistent at the moment. Our backs are changing a little bit. We have got a couple of injuries, but like every team has the same issue. And there's been a bit of sickness around as well, the bugs at this time of year. So we just put out guys that we think will do a job for us.
Well, speaking of that forward pack, you're developing quite the reputation in this league as having a tough 8 forwards on the pitch at any given time.
Oh, look. I think it's the old adage, you tight five win your football games. Nothing's changed over 50, 60 years in rugby. Your tight five have got to get dominance up front, and if your set piece functions and you've got a source that you can play off, then you've got a really good chance of winning the game. And for us, that's probably been our Achilles heel over the last couple of years. That last year we struggled to put out a bit of depth in our front row and our second row. We've sort of been able to bolster that. They've had another year of experience. So if our tight five can function, I think we're in a reasonably good place, but time will tell.
And a bit of a new situation for you this evening. Of course, you were victorious against Loughborough earlier in the season. Now the target's on your back.
Oh, look, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I mean, the first game could have gone anyway. We were lucky to get that final score. I mean, Loughborough could quite easily have been on the right side of the ledger in that game, but we just managed to get that last piece of magic from Gobsy to sort of score the try. So look, this is going to be another torrid affair. We came here last year and got beaten by 50, so we know how hard it is to come here and win, especially on the rubber crumb where the game's fast and defence is a key, and hopefully we'll be up for it.
Well, all the very best. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Round 5, the first opportunity to right some wrongs. You welcome Nottingham Trent back today after they got their first ever victory over Loughborough in round 1. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, excited. It's the first proper home game. I know we had the big match. It's the first time we've got a team on the crumb here, so we're looking forward to having a dig at them, definitely.
Well, it was a fantastic match, the big match, 17-all against Exeter. That's the only real positive result, but it seems like there have been plenty of positive performances, but the scorelines haven't necessarily gone your way.
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of the beast at the moment. We've got quite an inexperienced team. We've got lads coming up from basically just leaving school level and then coming in and playing the BSR competition, which is getting a lot tougher. You're playing teams like Cardiff Met and Hartbury. Hartbury, a bunch of big lads, probably some championship players in there. So it's, you know, they've gone out and done a real good job against them and coming away with bonus points. And then we'll look back at probably the end of the year and be, you know, real grateful for them.
Looking at the starting lineup today, a lot of changes from round 1. The turnover of players here is massive. It must be great to have such a pool of talent to pick from, but a real sort of head scratcher to get your best 15 out.
Yeah, so we do a lot of the selection on a Monday, and that's always like a tricky day because we're sort of picking the National 1 team, BSR team, and then there's it is a balancing act in terms of we've been going full strength National 1, so this is taking a bit of a hit in terms of selection wise, but the boys that have played so far you couldn't really ask any more from them. I think BSR's a great competition to develop players, and I think that's what we're using it for at the moment, yeah.
Speaking of National 1, fantastic victory at the weekend. Do you think that's something that this BUCS team can use to kick on and finally get a positive result?
Yeah, there's obviously been a fantastic feeling around the club this week. You know, it's been tough. It's been a tough start to the year for both teams, so hopefully we can use the win on Saturday as a bit of a springboard for the year.
Walking around though, speaking to people before kick-off, there's still a lot of positivity here.
Yeah, definitely. I think in terms of having such an inexperienced BSR team, I think their performance improvement is the positive thing to take out of it. I think the way some of the lads have grown, and it's interesting to find out who becomes a leader in the group. We haven't had a lot of leaders at the start of the year, but there's certainly boys that are really maturing now as players, so it's good to see.
And a quick word on the opponents today. Nottingham Trent, the whipping boys of the league last year, but they've had a great start, 2 wins out of 3.
Yeah, watched the game last week against Cardiff. We know they're going to have a dig up front. I think that's where they're really strong, obviously well organised, so yeah, we're decent at defending driving maul, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Cheers, go well today.
Yeah, no worries, thank you.
Words from both coaches there as we count down to kick-off. Nottingham Trent, the visitors today, and they'll be the first out onto the field to play some festivities. At the starting teams, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, round 5, live from the first 15 pitch here at Loughborough. Jared Leet, Jamie Cox the captain, and James Gallagher start in the front row. Dan Cuthbert and Sam Bailey at 4 and 5, Archie McPherson, Cameron Wilkins and Ollie Kilgallen in the back row. The vice-captain, Will Findlay, is at scrum. Half outside him at 10 is Josh Lewis. Aaron Tate on the left. Will Atfield on the right. James Davis and Fergus Geary in the centres, with James Spencer at full-back. Well, here come the hosts, led by captain Jamie Cox. In the white jerseys with African violet trim today, there's James Gallagher. He was man of the match against Exeter earlier in the season. And as they make their way onto the pitch, let's see how the visitors line up. Ben Smith, JJ Broberg and Cecil McCarthy, 4 tries in 3 for the big number 3. Ben Davis-Moore and Jacob Turner in the engine room, with Scott Hall, Jacob Rafter and Jack Liebster in the back row. Jamie Murray and Max Craven are the halfbacks. Pau Jimeno at 11, Harry Clemson at 12, Alex Goebel, the match winner last time these teams met, captains them from 13. Harry Graham at 14 on the right wing, and Caetano Branco is at 15. On the bench, Jamie Harding, Sam Garvey, Matt Brooks, Lewis Jameson, Sam Ripper-Smith, Tom Walsh, Alexander Cruz and Sam Roberts for Loughborough, Tommy Collingwood, Dan Lamb, Henry Trimmer, Joe Green, Ethan Hughes, Eden Kelly, James Peachy and Jake Johnson for the visitors. Referee Ian Davis will be assisted by George Richardson and Will Debenham for this one, and Loughborough will get us underway through Josh Lewis. Max Hill joining me for this one. Max, of course, you've been plying your trade in National 1 last week and next week as well. How do you feel on nights like this with the BUCS Super Rugby under the lights here? Another absolute nail-biter up for grabs. Are you feeling nervous? Would you rather be out there?
Oh, I'd love to be out there right now. Wednesday night lights with all the boys. Nothing better than that at Loughborough.
Well, of course, you were on the field of play for that heartbreak last time, but it was some rugby match, and kind of what uni rugby is all about, really, is that's a fantastic take early on.
Go on, Archie,
opportunity for Loughborough. Archie McPherson from 6 into the 22. Oh, but it's knocked forward. And that's the first mistake fumbled there by Cuthbert. And we'll get a first look at the set piece.
So that's a great start from Archie there. You love to see him taking those high balls. Real confidence under there. He's been a great player for us this year. Sitting in the back row tonight, and he's also put in a good few shifts in the second row. Great utility player for us in the forwards.
I think his eyes lit up there. He was under some pressure from the take.
Be a great opportunity to see Galley going head to head now. Bit of a weaker loose head, I think, this week, and he's been frothing at the mouth all training week at the attempt to go at him, so let's see how he does.
James Gallagher there with the shaved head and the ginger beard on the far side in number 3. Wasn't originally in the starting lineup this evening, but Osman Demen was declared unfit, so Sam Garvey comes onto the bench and Gallagher gets the chance to start. As Max mentioned, Jamie Jack has been the regular prop for Trent, but he's replaced by Ben Smith this evening. So Loughborough start to get a shift on. And that's a good tackle there on the 22 as well. Good shot from Josh Lewis. Craven puts boot to ball for the second time this match. Doesn't get much on it. There's a bit of a deceptive breeze out there, you know, that Trent are kicking into in this first half. It's Findlay. Another carry up towards halfway.
Great to see Dan Cuthbert getting out there as well. Come up through the Group 2 pre-season.
Oh, another clean break here for Loughborough. It's Will Atfield.
Go on, Spenno.
Inside to James
Go on,
Spencer.
Spenno.
Loughborough back into the 22. Carry there from Lewis over on the right hand side. Sam Bailey waits. Finlay. There is Gallagher. First time ball in hand for him, backed up by Leet. Good position here for Loughborough. Inside 3 minutes gone, and Dan Cuthbert not put off by that initial drop. Takes the strong carry. Bit of space here for Loughborough. The 2-on-1 around the outside. Cover tackle comes in. Has it been grounded? Doesn't look like it from here, but the referee thinks it is. And 3 minutes gone. Loughborough 5, Nottingham Trent 0. What a start for the hosts.
And that's exactly the kind of start we want. Great ball carrying from James Gallagher, especially Dan Cuthbert coming through the middle there, and lovely hands from Spenno and Tatey to finish it off in the corner. Exactly how we wanted to start today.
Well, Aaron Tate came under some pressure there. I'd like to take another look at this, because if he did ground it, he did particularly well. But the referee in a great position. Quick check with his assistant, and it's Loughborough 5, Nottingham Trent 0. Well, what a difference between this time and the last time these two teams played. Loughborough didn't get their hands on the ball for the first 6 or 7 minutes, but they've ridden the wave here, and that's the perfect start.
Yeah, I think that's what we've really looked at over the last few weeks, is getting that start early, making sure we're actually the ones being dominant in that first 10 minutes. I think you'll really notice as well how good our clearing out work was there. Credit to Jim Henry, been working with us all week, really getting us a go forward and quick ball off the ruck.
Lovely strike from Lewis as well. Splits the post, the flags go up, and it's Loughborough Students 7, Nottingham Trent 0. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Under the lights here on the first 15 pitch at Loughborough University. Loughborough, of course, in round 5, still looking for their first victory of the season. Trent find themselves 7-0 down. They've not had a visit into the Loughborough half yet. Max Craven to get us back underway. Straight down the throat to Geary, but that's not a clean connection from Loughborough's 13. James Davis comes rushing out of the line here, misses the tackle but manages to slow down Clemson. It's a bit scrappy for Trent at the moment, and Loughborough pretty fierce off the line. They concede the penalty, but Sam Bailey looks pretty busy at that breakdown.
One thing we've worked on all week is really contesting in that 15 metre, 5 metre channel on the left and right hand side. We've been looking at getting through, exposing when they've got one man over. We've noticed that's a bit of their weakness. Bailey looking good there, just got to be careful about coming around the side, a bit more discipline from our boys. Can't give them easy outs like that.
Well, let's have another look at this opening try. Will Findlay had a better look at that than anybody else. And the pump of his fist was good enough for the referee. Loughborough 7, Trent 0. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. JJ Broberg finds his man at the front. Good line there from Liebster. Takes some bringing down. Jared Leeds there. Now Trent into the 22 for the first time of the match. Getting it through the handsbell towards the touchline there. And goes out Harry Clempson. The man bundled out. The referee comes back for a penalty. Couple in quick succession for Loughborough. A few of the winter coats coming out as well. Beautiful sunset this evening, but cloudless sky, and it's pretty chilly here in the capital of the East Midlands.
I think we'll really miss Booney in the second row today. We've got that 6'10" Crane who started for us in the first week. Real good and effective for us in that in the line-out defence. Really missing him today, I think. Be a strong suit for Archie to try and put himself forward with Bailey in the second row as well. Try and disrupt some of their ball, make it a bit harder for them.
Craven has got the ideal opportunity to get Trent on the board here. Bang in front of the sticks. No more than 15 metres out. And that'll be a bit frustrating for Loughborough after that great start.
Yeah, not ideal for us there. I think clean exit was where that all started. I think we could get that exit right. Kick chase was pretty good from...
Tano Branco for dead. Oh, we're back underway and it's been knocked on. Unfortunately for Sam Bailey, he couldn't take advantage of it, but another huge opportunity here.
And again, I think James Gallagher is going to be seriously licking his lips here at the chance of going at their scrum. Perfect.
Right, hang on, you're going to have to explain that, Max.
Is that Brownie, is it? Yeah, he looks quite pretty actually.
What's the occasion this evening?
So tonight we've got a Disney and Pixar social, so you're going to see our fresher lads, they're coming in as Disney princesses, and a lot of our older boys are coming in as the army soldiers from Toy Story, so a bit of a laugh tonight for them.
And of course, as a big club one yourself, who's your fancy dress of choice?
I've been picked to go as Scar from Lion King.
Not much fancy dress required then. Approaching 8.5 minutes here. Scrum's gone down on this near side. Cecil McCarthy was the man who went down, but happy to play on, and James Davis carries to 15 metres out, bang under the sticks for Loughborough, and they go right this time. Short ball off Josh Lewis. Look at that rise there. Oh, Alex Goebel levelling the outside half there. Josh Lewis, not late, says the referee. Goebel got a bit of a reputation for that in week one, coming rushing out of the line, really looking to put a shot on. Of course, he scored the winning try, but most of his good work was in defence. Ollie Kilgallen there, backing up the big man Sam Bailey. 9 minutes gone. Loughborough back in the Trent 22. It's Gallagher with the carry. Bit of heavy strapping on that right arm of his. Geary steps into the big shoulder of Scott Hall, who certainly have felt that. Referee keen to keep Trent on side. Another good carry here. 5 metres short for Loughborough, should I say. Again, Kilgallen doing the backing up, adding his weight to the carry. So close from Bailey, a metre short as we approach 10 minutes. There's a hand gone in there, it's an illegal one, says the referee.
That's really great work from Loughborough there, getting that Munster call on. See James Gallagher, a lot of body latched onto another big lad, Sam Bailey, come around the edge. Not much you can do to stop that.
Well, of course, I'd imagine that's somewhere in the region of 220, 230 kilos there when those two latch on.
And the rest.
But good pressure from Loughborough. They've got the chance here to come away with 3 points. Trent had a very kickable penalty a couple of minutes ago. And what a response.
I think we have to be careful about that Goebel in the middle, doing well to shoot out and stop our defensive line, but I think we can expose that, maybe looking for some tips around the edges. I think he's a great player, but I think that's a bit rash occasionally to come out there at that sort of speed.
Easy work for Josh Lewis. Loughborough students 10, Nottingham Trent 3. Well, speaking to the Nottingham Trent team as we go up over 10 minutes of BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, they say that Alex Goebel, of course captain this evening, a real confidence player, and if he does fly out of the line and make a few of those big shots early on, then he's going to grow and grow into this game.
As I said, yeah, he's a seriously good player, very dangerous for them. Not a good topic to talk about for us, but yeah, got a good match winner last week.
Oh, that's some take there in mid-air. Scott Hall, with that red scrum cap on, takes them up to the 22, and now it's Trent's turn to run. Jacob Rafter from 7, backed up by Clemson. Cecil McCarthy, big ball carrier, top try scorer for Trent so far this season, but not had the opportunity from the close range where he does so well. Lovely hands here. Trent looking the business with plenty of width to go. Now it's Loughborough's turn to rush out of the line and try and slow things down. A big carry there. The defender ending up flat on his back. It's Ben Smith. McCarthy's in there. Not going to carry this time though. Craven waits. Instead it goes to Hall.
Roll 2! We need to be careful on that bounce back. Looking dangerous.
Leaked with the tackle for Loughborough. Here is Craven. Now the width comes out to Pau Gimeno. Lovely stepping from him. Tate has to do well.
Rock! Not now, 3.
Gallagher trying to get hands on it.
Yeah, he can play the ball, so dead rock.
Step inside there from Goebel, manages to get the offload away as well. That's gone to ground. Which direction? Backwards, says the referee. Goebel again for the corner. 13 minutes gone, and now the pressure coming from Nottingham Trent. Cecil McCarthy for the line.
That's a knock on, no advantage.
And he's knocked it on.
Pretty glad he didn't pick it up there. He's seriously dangerous in that kind of range.
Knocked on by 9 in the tackle.
Let's go. The referee calling for a knock on off Will Findlay first. Oh, they're enjoying it.
Yeah, give it now, please.
I think the Nottingham players were looking for a bit of a penalty off that. I think they thought there was a bit of purpose behind that knock on.
Bit of a stretch of the shoulders there for James Gallagher. Any malice in that strapping on his right arm, do you know?
I know he's been having a few issues with his shoulder the last week. Not too sure what's going on with the arm, maybe a bit of carry on from that right shoulder that he's been having a few issues with.
They're not old enough to go to uni. No way. No way. They need Yoti for their ID. Who have we got over there? Are they the guys from Toy Story?
They
are
the machine? The aliens from Toy Story.
Ah, that's right. The claw. Big scrum here.
Set.
What an opportunity for Trent. Just after conceding that penalty. Leibster goes, tries to create the overlap. Harry Clemson gets put down by Josh Lewis. No space in the middle from Loughborough so far. 14 minutes gone.
Nottingham.
Scott Hall waits. Takes that one static, and the big back rowers come in with the tackles. Ollie Kilgallen's there with the headband on. Cecil McCarthy meets Sam Bailey head to head, gets the offload away. Alex Goebel's there again. He really does have the bit between his teeth in this opening 15 minutes. But warned by the referee to stay on.
Arrive up, Pink, arrive up.
And James Gallagher's there. It's a long way round him. Rafter waits. Patient stuff from Nottingham Trent.
Okay,
And
back foot
McCarthy's
now,
there.
back foot.
Laws of physics say he's going to go forward, but Loughborough deal with him well as we approach 15 minutes on our clock. A lovely missed pass.
Loughborough lucky there, very lucky.
Well, what a let-off for Loughborough, just as it looked as though it had opened up on the left-hand side. But patient defence, forcing Trent to go wide when it didn't work with the big blunt forwards, and the score remains Loughborough 10, Trent 3.
Shouts of good D there from Jamie Cox, being a real talisman for us this year at captain. I think boys can be pretty pleased with that effort there. Force the forward pass and hopefully just clean exit now and get out of this 22 and start playing on our terms.
Now keep your eye on the near side of this scrum. Cecil McCarthy went down last time. The referee was on the other side, happy to let it go. It feels as though Jared Leeds put in a bit of pressure on the big number 3. Kilgallen tries to drive those legs, but Hall does well. There's the box from Findlay.
It's a good exit.
Only as far as halfway. Now the counter-attack. Gaetano Branco loves running at space. Capped for Portugal at sevens is the Trent fullback. Clemson having to work hard there to get over the gain line. Cuthbert making a nuisance of himself at the breakdown. A good change of pace there from Rafter as well. Real hard worker in the open field. Here's Goebel up the wing. Getting over the gain line. Ben Smith shot down low. Best period of the game in terms of possession, this for Nottingham Trent. Suggestion of a high tackle there on Hall, but the referee happy to let play continue. And here's Branco again, driven towards the touchline and just out on the far side again. Good organised defence from Loughborough, but better from Nottingham Trent.
Yeah, looking strong, Nottingham Trent. When they've got the ball in hand, they're actually getting quite good go forward. They're getting a lot from that ball out the back, from their ex-pod when they're carrying. But I think a real good patient defence from Loughborough there. I think we're just getting into our stride. I think we need to get down in their half now and actually play a bit on our own terms.
Well, there have been a few occasions where Trent have run out of space on that left-hand side. That seems to be where the danger is, though. Were it not for a forward pass, that's where they'd have been over the line. And Alex Goebel reaching out and coming just short. Jamie Cox, the captain, gets it turned over. Davis Moore gets a big right paw on that. And that, a good sign indeed for Nottingham Trent that they get into Loughborough's line out at the first time of asking. Those little tips working quite nicely as well. Davis Moore finding Liebster. Clemson.
No, 7!
Notice that Loughborough are really picking their battles. They're not competing for a lot of these balls at the breakdown.
Yeah, I think we've really worked the last week on potentially just looking for that ball when we get into the 15-metre channel. That's when we're really going to look to expose them and try and sort of fire through those rucks. I think in the middle we're just going to leave it in back our defence and try and get off the line at them.
Handling error there from Max Craven. I suppose when you're an outside half and you spend a lot of time on halfway, you're looking to make the magic happen.
Yeah, it's quite rare from Craven. I played with him at college and he's a very, very good player. Normally got quite good ball handling skills.
Is it true he used to play ultimate frisbee for Great Britain?
Myself?
No, Max Craven.
Oh, Max Craven, I was going to say, definitely not me. Yeah, he did. He is serious with the frisbee as well.
I love random player facts in BUCS Super Rugby.
Fine!
After that drop, he maybe should have stuck at it.
really looking to turn the screw in this scrum. Just starting to creak from Trent, but Loughborough told to use it. Kilgallen keeps going forward. Lovely footwork from the number 8.
Big double tens from there from Gallagher. He's obviously hyped up. Can't underestimate the work that Jared Lee, also known as my twin, is doing on the other side of the scrum as well.
He is some scrummager, James Gallagher. Of course, got the penalty try against Exeter.
I think anyone would be a hell of a scrummager with 130 kilos behind them.
Is that what he is?
Oh, at least.
Goodness me. So you all cook together in the house, yeah?
Well, yeah, we cook together, but he normally eats it.
I think Loughborough might be having a crack at the sticks from here. That'll be some boot, although it's slightly wind assisted as we go past 20 minutes here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. After a fruitless period of possession for Nottingham Trent. Lewis looking to go 3 from 3 off the tee. 1 conversion from the left touchline and 1 simple penalty thus far. There's JJ Broberg, the hooker. He was a try scorer against Loughborough in round 1. First, in fact, the only match of the season where all 3 starting front rows have got over the whitewash for any team. On that day it was Jamie Jack, JJ Broberg and Cecil McCarthy. As Josh Lewis looks to extend the lead to 10 points for Loughborough. The flags go up and it's a 10-point lead. Loughborough students 13, Nottingham Trent 3.
Hell of a nudge, J-Lu. Interesting fact about James Gallagher, he was playing BUCS 4 last season.
Really?
BUCS 4.
Do you know, we hear more and more stories like that. So Irvin Murick has been one of the stars of the show for Hartbury this season on the wing, and he was playing 3s for them. It shows that there are opportunities. If you play well, you get the chance.
I think it shows as well how many boys can be missed through the trial process, how many boys can be missed through the pre-season process as well. James Gallagher doing really well to come up and play for us in the wing.
Oh, another mistake from Max Craven. He has not had his best 20 minutes in a Trent jersey. Couple of knock-ons and then a snap hook. And no surprise, Loughborough licking their lips to get on the end of a scrummage here.
Yeah, James Gallagher's going to be all over this.
Ollie Kilgallen there at number 8.
Fine.
Got man of the match last time these two teams played. One of those gut-wrenching interviews post-match. Had some game that day. And the scrum starting to move. Will Finley, chief cheerleader, told to use it this time. And use it he does. Lovely footwork, dancing footwork from the try scorer Aaron Tate. Now the forwards with the big carries once again. Cuthbert's in there. Look one way then the other, and the offload as well. Here's Jared Lee, offloads to Sam Bailey, over the line. What a wonderful score. And Loughborough rampant, 18-3 in the 23rd minute. And it started with the work on the left with the backs, but it was all about the forwards in the middle.
Do you really see there on the left, Fergus Geary? That's a hell of a clear. Another shout out to Jim Henry doing some serious work with us this week on our ruck clears. That's just some seriously good support play from Bailey, giving a little kiss to the camera there. That is seriously cringe. And Jared also with a nice little out the back offload.
Well, the tight 5 forwards win you the footy matches. That's what Alex O'Dowd said at the beginning. What he probably didn't expect was props and second rowers linking up in the middle of the park like that. Second score of the match for Loughborough. The extras added. Lewis going well off the tee, 20 points to 3.
Yeah, that's sort of the perfect start for Loughborough. Couldn't really ask for much more there. I think we're playing the pitch really, really well. Playing what's in front of us. A nice little offload from J-Lu there, fresher. Doing very well for us coming in his first year.
George, ball again, mate.
Approaching 25 minutes, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Loughborough students 20, Nottingham Trent 3. And it's a team game out there, but Max Craven's made a couple of mistakes, and both of them Well, they've led to 10 points for Loughborough in a few minutes, so if I were him, I'd be going as deep as I can with this one. It's taken cleanly, and that's a much better restart there from the Trent outside half. Temperament's so important, isn't it? You've got to put those mistakes out of your mind and just build back into the game.
Yeah, I don't really know, from up here, you don't really know how much of a factor that wind's playing.
Goebel this time up the left-hand side, out of the back door. Fantastic offload to Hall into the 22. What a response from Trent. Once again, Alex Goebel at the heart of it. Important tackle. Loughborough need to regroup, and they have. Frustration there from Cecil McCarthy. He looks up at the heavens. That was a huge chance, and what a break from Alex Goebel.
Yeah, that was a great piece of play by Trent there. Really exposed on the blind side. I think Loughborough need to be careful with that. Make sure we've got numbers folded around that corner and make sure we're spreading ourselves evenly along that pitch. But did well to get back in play and disrupt that and make the covering tackle.
Another opportunity gone for Trent. Loughborough can clear. Last time they had a line out on that side though. Big Ben Davis-Moore got a right paw on it and upset the apple cart.
I think we just need to increase our speed at the line out. We're looking pretty slow walking into it, haven't decided our call. Maybe getting a bit earlier, getting that jogging and getting set and going straight away might help us a bit.
Just hold the hooker, please. Okay, all good. Yeah, good mate.
Well, it's scrappy again. Bounce doesn't go Loughborough's way, and Broberg can receive the ball for Nottingham Trent. Ben Smith.
No, leave it wide!
That's a real problem for Loughborough. 0 from 2 with the arrows so far. McCarthy. Took that one standing still managed to get over the gain line. Even had the audacity to throw a dummy, the big man. Oh, lovely there from James Davis, flying out of the line, cutting off Branco at source. Clemson. Short ball to Leibster, who rides that big right shoulder from Wilkins. Head down and drive there from Trent, up over halfway.
Leave!
I think Loughborough just struggling a bit from discipline there. I think Jared needs to be a bit more careful over that ball. Ref's clearly giving him the comms there. Just needs to get his hands off that and maybe fold out. But yeah, Nottingham causing a few troubling plays up there.
Craven finds a safe touch.
Yeah, no,
Since those couple of mistakes. Settled back in, the good restart, and then finding touch. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
I think with these conditions, Loughborough needs to get a pod up at the front in these lineouts. That's what Nottingham are doing to us, really pushing us to throw to the back, putting their big men at the front and making it a bit harder for us. I think we need to sort of copy their game plan.
Time's off. Time's up.
Is that James Gallagher blowing at the front? Not like him.
I think there are a few lads carrying a lot of timber in the 3 jerseys for both Loughborough and Trent. Putting on a good show here. Trent back onto the edge of the 22. It's Hall with another carry.
No, leave
Plenty of time, ball in hand.
10 had a second go.
Rafter. Oh, it's gone forward again off Max Craven.
I think Craven's unlucky there. I think if that had gone one pass further, we would have been in some serious trouble on the wing. I think they sort of exposed the mismatch. That's unlucky for Craven.
Got a half-time score update from Wowee Hartbury, 35-7 up at Durham. Durham, the only undefeated team remaining in BUCS Super Rugby, and they really do have their work cut out to maintain that 100% record. Bath 26-14 up against Exeter as well. Both of those are half-time updates. Hartbury, of course, a couple of weeks ago falling to defeat against Leeds Beckett. They bounced back with a bonus point victory against Loughborough this time last week. Loughborough, of course, picking up a try-scoring bonus point as well.
Fine.
But Bath, after losing their first 2 games, going great guns. Double figures up against Exeter. You just can't pick any of these games, can you?
can only imagine that Bath are taking some serious confidence from that win last week in their big match against Beckett. That looks like a hell of a score against a strong Exeter side.
Oh, another scrum going forward here for Loughborough. Gallagher's up and out. And the backs just can't wait to get their hands on the ball, and here's James Davis. I don't think he'll want to watch that one back. Big opportunity there for Loughborough. The scrum dominant.
Yeah, something we've really worked on this year. I think with the National 1 boys being in early and us all coming in as a performance squad early in July, we've just really managed to get a bit of a culture shift in with our scrum. Nathan Smith doing a lot of good work for us. As I said, there's a few dark training sessions we've had each week, including a lot of mauls and a lot of scrums, and being shouted at a lot.
There's Josh Lewis. He's been pretty sturdy with that right boot. A couple of penalties and a couple of conversions. 10 points for him in that 10 jersey.
Cheers, George.
And that was a free shot at it as well, because the referee brought them back for that penalty. Perhaps makes it even more frustrating that Davis couldn't get the pass away.
I think our backline are holding their own pretty well. Quite a young backline out tonight. 10, 12 and 13, all freshers.
Jamie Cox finds his man this time again. Trent looking to cause havoc. Here's the first look at them all. This pretty much an identical position to the one where Trent scored the winning try 6 weeks ago. Going forward for Loughborough as Gallagher adds his weight up the blind side. More dancing feet from Tate. He loves that step inside. And Loughborough back deep into enemy territory.
No, 3, no!
There is Gallagher. Finley's in there. Sam Bailey, the try scorer, goes forward again. There are hands on that from McCarthy, but he goes diving over. Loughborough to the blind side. A little bit of space opens up, but bundled into touch. Important defence there. Josh Lewis sensed a gap, but there were 3-4 Trent tacklers.
Yeah, Trent did really well there to scramble that defence. Good decision from Josh to go blind, I think, saw the opening. Good platform from Loughborough, but well defended by Trent in that line-up.
Gallagher with the carry. Perhaps there was a little bit of space. Pau Gimeno there. Number 11. Just as though he could be isolated.
I think Sam Bailey's also looking on top form tonight. Really looking like he's got the bug for it. Really pushing forward.
It was a really good cover tackle by Scott Hall.
That's not good news for our scrum. James Gallagher being down.
Another score update. Leeds Beckett 14-0 up against Cardiff University. James Gallagher looks really uncomfortable there, and that's not nice to see. It's a tough enough game without the injuries. In fact, it looks like a leg injury, not the shoulder injury. Well, hopefully for Gally, he'll be fighting fit in no time, but if those pictures are anything to go by, I think his night could be over, and that is a big blow for Loughborough, because they've really been able to turn the screw in the pack.
Yeah, it won't be a small man coming on. Matt Brooks on the bench, also a big tight head, so it's not the size that will be missing, but Gallagher's a hell of a scrummager, which I'm sure he'll tell you himself.
Well, Matt Brooks comes on. We're in number 18 in the black scrum cap. And Nottingham Trent with some clearing to do. 32 minutes gone on our clock. Just a reminder that our clock isn't linked in with the referee, but it's pretty close. Trent under real pressure here. Well, they just did not look like they had an exit strategy there.
No, I really thought they were probably going to go off the maul there, or they were just going to set someone behind and boot off 10. Yeah, that was a bit scrappy from them, but great opportunity for Loughborough now to get some more points on the board before half time.
Well, first scrum here for Matt Brooks. Let's see how much difference he can make. Either way, what a platform here for Loughborough. Of course, they've got that slight breeze advantage as well. Doesn't make much of a difference on this perfectly flat 4G. but they'll definitely want to go into half-time with as large a lead as possible and negate that advantage in the second half. In it comes from Finley. Kilgallen adjusts himself, and now it starts to go forward. Finley likes it.
Use it!
Referee says use it, so Kilgallen goes for the sticks himself, straight over the defender, and it's a third score for Loughborough.
That's a great decision from Kilgallen to go there. Saw the scrum was wheeling round. Great work from Matt Brooks, and he's just picked that over and gone straight over the line. That's unbelievable work from Loughborough.
Well, that's a number 8's dream right there.
That's what you dream of.
Loughborough students 25, Nottingham Trent 3.
I can't remember. It's the one they switched it to before the game.
And Matt Brooks
No, it's not 608.
on as a replacement prop, but the result in the scrum is the same. Lovely hands there from Kilgallen. One-handed pickup straight over the top of Max Craven.
I know Kilgallen's been doing a lot of work at the base of the scrum, one of his improvement areas at the beginning of the season, and as you can see there, he's obviously been working hard and he's come up with the rewards.
Lewis remains 100% from the tee. Loughborough 27, Nottingham Trent 3.
Again, a real test for Loughborough here will be a clean exit. I think it's a theme of the game to try and pin them down in their half, and we'll play there. Obviously, we've got the wind advantage at the moment, so try and get as many points as we can before the end of the half.
This time, Craven does go a little bit deeper. The ball's gone backwards there, says the referee. It might have gone forwards, off Bailey chasing him up. Ian Davis happy to let play continue. Box kick straight down the throat of Craven, who finds Kitano Branco. There's Harry Graham. Oh, that looks high. Advantage coming. Will it be any further action?
Yeah, I think the fullback did really well there to get on his outside foot. Geary obviously struggling a bit on the edge there to try and get a dominant tackle on him, but yeah, good footwork from the Nottingham fullback. Or wing even.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that just goes up off the shoulder.
Yeah, I don't think there's any intent in it.
We've missed the kick there, but has he just gone straight out?
Penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, has he just nudged it out where he was?
Looks that way. Either way, Trent been pretty good with the darts so far, and it's off the top nicely there from Davis Moore, the captain. Jacob Rafter again gets over the gain line. As another advantage coming here. Cameron Wilkins, the guilty party this time.
Yeah, Rafter's a real weapon for Nottingham Trent. Real active 7. Gave us some real issues when we were down at their place at Lady Bay.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Approaching the final 5 minutes of the first half, and again they've not made many metres from that penalty kick. Perhaps that wind has picked up a little more. We can just see the breeze running through the referee's assistant's flag there.
How many?
Yeah, I think there's be a really good opportunity for Nottingham here. If they can get a try before half time, I think they'll actually be quite pleased with that result, with the wind not going their way.
JJ Broberg. Loughborough a little bit late with the man up, but that's not straight.
That's a little bit harsh from the referee there.
But again, when the game's not going your way, those are the little things that can make a huge difference. We'll get a good look at this now. JJ Broberg looking for Davis Moore.
The ref's got that right.
He's in a good position, was Ian Davis.
Loughborough looking to get a real good platform off this, make sure we're getting a good exit. Looks like we could potentially be set up to run off this. Maybe look at Nate Pick off the back.
Fine!
Yeah, last time 8 went off the back. It resulted in a try, and Kilgallen thought he was going quickly with the free kick there.
I'm sure he'd be very pleased with the same result from that far out.
3 tries for Loughborough. Tate with the first, Bailey with the second, Kilgallen with the third. But for those regular followers of BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, you will know that we've had some pretty serious comebacks, not just in this season but last season too. As the scrum sets once more, it has been very much Loughborough's in the opening 36 minutes, and it's starting to creak for Trent again. And the advantage is coming once more, so Kilgallen picks, goes, finds James Davis. Jamie Cox, the captain.
Off feet now, 3.
And they go back for the penalty. I think after what happened at Hartbury last week, Loughborough will be delighted with how this scrum has gone.
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy.
Pink,
We've
tight
worked
head,
hard
angle.
all week, as I said, and all of the season. So I think we've shown the fruits of
this will be time
that
if
in
you
this
kick.
game and also at Exeter. So yeah, they'll be happy with that. Brooksy doing a really good job coming off there. I think he's really exposing that tired loose head on the other side.
And that will take us through to half-time. Loughborough 1 try away from a bonus point, but in full control after 40 minutes. It's Loughborough Students 27, Nottingham Trent 3. Well, Max Hill, we spoke before the game about how difficult it was for you to swallow that defeat against Nottingham Trent in round 1, but take a look at that score. Loughborough 27, Nottingham Trent 3. I think they'll be pretty happy with that opening 40 minutes.
Yeah, boys can be absolutely buzzing with that. That's a strong Nottingham side they're going out against. Boys have led from the front forwards wise, and we've executed well in the backs, and the chance will come, but I can definitely say it won't be a relaxed message in the change room. It'll be keep the foot down and keep going.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. It was a great start as Archie McPherson took that early high ball, but it was a lovely bit of composure to open the scoring.
Yeah, Spenno does really well there to get on their outside. Great footwork from Tatey. Just gets it down just by the number 8 there.
Just managed to get it over Liebster. That was converted. Just as we see that work there from Spencer. Skips through that one tackle and manages to take the 2 defenders with him. Both Clempson and Branco were sucked in, and Tate just absorbed the contact. I wasn't sure if he grounded it, but I think he just got it down there over the top of Jack Liebster. Here was the second score though, and this was a tight 5 forwards work of art.
Yeah, Jared will say that he does that in his sleep, but I think everyone in Loughborough knows that's not the case. Bailey a bit more of our athletic forward, so we'll give him that one.
Well, that was a reward for a very industrious opening 40 minutes from the big number 5.
Yeah, he's worked hard all game, and I think he deserved that try there. Great hands and great finish.
Just looking at that from Jared Lee, is that showboating? Was there any need for it to be backdoor?
Well, that's just what Jared's like, really. He'll throw it out of the back there, but I think he'll say it was needed. But I think we up here can definitely say it wasn't.
And here was the third try. Ollie Kilgallen back in the starting 15, off the back of a dominant scrum for a number 8. That is a dream. Straight over Max Craven, who, given that he's one of the real star performers of the league this season, has probably had a 40 minutes that he'd like to put to the back of his mind as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think for Craven, just needs to come out and just start afresh this next half. He's a great player, as you've mentioned. I think he can really get some go forward. But for Kilgallen, there's nothing, as you said, nothing better for an 8 to see a 10 in front of you. His eyes will be lighting up at that opportunity.
Well, usually we have a mascot race at half-time, but it looks like something completely different. Of course, you've got the Disney and Pixar social this evening here at Loughborough. Is it still Hey You on a Wednesday?
Still Hey You on a Wednesday.
Where are they off? Looks like a lap of the cricket pitch.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find many returners boys out there doing that with them.
Half-time here then, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, and we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our headline sponsors, Yoti. We couldn't do these productions and bring you this fantastic league without them, so take a look at this to find out what they're all about.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use. It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
You don't really want to carry your passport around on Nottingha, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.
Half-time here at Loughborough, 27-3, but Max Hill, you know as well as anybody that this game is far from over.
Yeah, 3 years in BUCS Super Rugby now, and there's been some real upsets when we've been up at half-time. So hoping to keep the score consistent and score first straight out the blocks.
We'll be welcoming the players back out for the second half very shortly, but before we do, let's take a look at some of the best scores from last week.
They've won the ball back, and here's transition ball, which is the most threatening, and Edwards on the charge. Edwards going to score. He's opening up the scoring in this second half, and it looks like it's going to go wide to Adamson. Steph James throws a dummy, steps back inside, but he's caught by his bootlaces, and it's a pick up and go from another replacement. Hayden Thompson-Green of the Beckett defence have been sucked in. They go out the back door. It just needs to go. Hands will do it. It's a sloppy one. It's a great pick-up from Partington, who then again puts feet on again. Chris Barry's on the ball, who puts the ball inside and finds the replacement, Jack Kellingham.
Well, those were the round 4 results. Nottingham Trent with a victory against last year's finalist Cardiff Met. Cardiff University agonisingly close, missing a drop goal attempt when the clock was red, looking for their first victory, ultimately coming up short against Durham. Hartpury defeated this Loughborough side 36-26. Some comeback from Loughborough to get a try-scoring bonus point. Bath with a red-clocked penalty to defeat Leeds Beckett 29-27. And then the biggest score of the round, Exeter running in 7 tries against Northumbria, 45-24. 3 of those games decided by a score or less, which means 11 of the 17 in BUCS Super Rugby this season have been just that narrow. Latest scores from around the grounds then. Hartpury continuing in that rich vein of form, and Durham's undefeated record is in serious danger. They're 35-7 down. Exeter have closed the gap, but Bath still 8 to the good, 29-21 there. Leeds Beckett looking to bounce back after defeat last week. Well, they're 21-0 up against Cardiff, and Loughborough, of course, 27-3 up against Nottingham Trent. The final fixture of the week is on Friday night as Northumbria host Cardiff Met. 9th against 6th, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that they won't be finishing in those positions come the end of the season. However, if I was a betting man, I would lose a fortune on BUCS Super Rugby, because as we can see from those results, nothing is a given.
Seriously unpredictable.
Seriously unpredictable, of course. Well, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about BUCS Super Rugby, and if you'd like to join the conversation, then myself and Joe Burns, the 2 handsome men in that photograph, we host the BUCS Stops Here, a podcast where we catch up with some of the players, some of the coaches, get the fans involved, and have a chat about everything to do with BUCS Super Rugby. And by the sounds of things, Max, you've got plenty to say, so we might have to get you involved.
For sure. Also, where'd you get your hair done, David? I'd like to start going to that barber's.
Any expensive salon, I think, is the secret. But soundcloud.com/the buck stops here. We're on Acast as well, and we're working on iTunes, but it's a little bit beyond my technical brain at this stage. So join the conversation. The buck stops here. It is a brilliant league. We're bringing you live matches every week, sometimes twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays, and the opportunity to get stuck into the conversation on the podcast as well. It would be great to have you on board, whether you're a player, a coach, whether you're a fan. Join the party. We love this league. We're sure that you do as well. And we're about to have another pulsating 40 minutes of rugby. Loughborough students looking for their first victory of the season, and at the halfway point looking pretty good as well. They say, well, I say they, the Nottingham Trent coaches say the tight fives win the footy matches, and at the moment Loughborough's really turning up the heat.
Yeah, I think Loughborough on top in most facets at the moment. I think that if Nottingham Trent play smart and they come out, they'll really look to kick deep into the corners, use that wind as an advantage, and try and sort of move to their line out, which has been pretty successful.
Well, next week we're back down to Hartpury as they host Northumbria. Cardiff Met at King Coyd will host Durham on the 7th of November. That's a rearranged fixture. Then we're back here at the first 15 pitch, Loughborough University, as Loughborough host Leeds Beckett. Well, speaking of tight fives, that will be some battle on the 14th of November. Then down to Bath on November the 21st as they host Durham. Then we're back up in Yorkshire as Leeds Beckett host Exeter. Every one of those a thriller. In fact, I can't think of a dud match this season so far.
As I said before the game kicked off, there isn't many whipping boys in this league this year, so it's seriously, every game's going to be hard to get a win from.
Well, we can see the boys jogging up and down there with those big sub coats on. It's not particularly warm out there. Good playing conditions, of course. There are always good playing conditions on the 4G.
Yeah, I don't think Rippers realise there's a zip on the front of that coat that you can do up.
And the good news for him is it's on the internet forever.
You'll love that.
Well, just as we're waiting for the teams to come back out, you said you don't think it'll be a particularly chilled out conversation with Loughborough, despite the fact that they're 24 points to the good. What do you think Jared and Nathan will be saying to the boys?
I think they'll just be really emphasising just going out and having the best 10 minutes that we can have, like we did in the first half. That's where we've really struggled at throughout the season. So just going out, getting a good 10 minutes under our belt, and I think the game will be ours.
As for Trent, it's pretty obvious where they need to improve, but how can you do it when your scrum's going backwards? It makes life so difficult.
Yeah, they're obviously not getting great set piece by their line out, which is working okay. I think Max Craven, once he gets his confidence back, they might start to shine a bit more. He needs to put a bit boot to ball and get him down in the right areas, as mentioned earlier.
Well, they do have that wind advantage in the second half, but they need to find 3 converted scores and a penalty, because that is the difference here. Loughborough students 27, Nottingham Trent 3. And here come the hosts off the back of comfortably their best 40 minutes of BUCS Super Rugby so far this season. Jamie Cox leads them out again. That industrious front row forward. Not got any news on the James Gallagher injury. However, Matt Brooks has come on in his place and has done a pretty good job. In fact, they've won penalties off both scrums that he's been involved with towards the latter part of the first half. This James Spencer, of course, worked hard to assist the first try. I think he might be a little bit busier in this second half as Trent looked to put boot to ball.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed the difference with Brooksy coming on, which is a pleasant surprise. He's looking to really utilise that scrum and push us forward, so I think it can only be up for him.
Max Craven, ball in hand, and he'll get us underway in the second half. It's BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Nottingham Trent, remember, coming off the back of a victory against last year's finalists Cardiff Met. A lot of teams have successful Saturday teams as well. Cardiff Met currently undefeated in the Welsh Championship. Here's the first carry for Spencer. Doesn't have a lot of space, but Scott Hall's cleared out. Jamie Cox, the captain. There's James Davis.
Loughborough can really look to use this win to their advantage this half. Obviously on those box kicks, they're going to be looking for the ball to hang. So managed to put some contestable kicks up and get the pressure in for the wingers.
Well, good pressure on that from Scott Hall. The referee saying he's come in from the side there. I think he might be a touch unlucky as the starting 15s go across the bottom. Remember, there has been that one change for Loughborough. Can't see any changes out there for Nottingham Trent at the moment. Josh Lewis again steady with the boot.
Yeah, I think the key for J. Lou this half is try not to be as try and just take the kick, make touch. Don't try and be too greedy with it. The wind's obviously against us, so let's try and just keep the ball and get it back in hand. Some good songs raining around the pitch.
Yeah, the supporters in fine voice, and that's better line-out ball as well. Bailey reaches high. Ben Davis Moore on the wrong side. And there's a battle for the ball here, but Jamie Cox goes to ground with it. And Loughborough have got the penalty.
Yeah, looking really safe at the front there with Bailey now. I mean, I think they're going to have to change it up soon because they're sort of catching on to it. But yeah, he's looking pretty safe at the front, and we're managing to set good go forward off him.
Speaking of those good songs, I remember at the big match earlier in the season there was a fairly spectacular Truly Madly Deeply.
Oh, that's one that the boys have been learning. At the beginning of every year we get our freshers to print out their hymn sheets. They've got all their songs on it, and yeah, that's one of the club favourites.
Loughborough back on the verge of the Trent 22. They scored with their first visit to it in the first half. It's better line-up ball there. Archie McPherson used as the option, but Trent straight in with the counter drive. Starts to go forward now, though. Again, Jamie Cox is the man on the ball. Lewis bumps one off. Big collision there from the outside half and gets the offload away as well. That's spilled out the side, but in what direction? Cecil McCarthy's managed to turn it over, but it's another penalty. And there are some looks of resignation on Nottingham Trent faces there.
That was a great line-up call there from Bailey. I think they've cottoned on to him going to the front. Nice little bump movement out, putting Archie up behind him. Just need to keep those mauls a bit more connected. I think we'll get some good go forward off them. But again, well defended by Trent to mess up that ball in the middle.
Josh Lewis will go for the sticks here. He's 100% from the tee so far, but that was quite some carry from him as well.
Yeah, I don't know where he's been hiding that in his locker.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. They've managed to pick up at least a bonus point in all of their matches so far this season, despite not being victorious. And they're one try away from guaranteeing one here. First things first, I think the victory is more important, so Josh Lewis looks to add the first points of the second half. And he has missed that one. The score remains Loughborough 27, Nottingham Trent 3, and a real let-off for Trent there.
Yeah, I think he'll be kicking himself with that one, but I mean, I think post is a good option with the score as it is at the moment. Try and get some more points on the board, and especially when we're down there with this win, try and take the chance when we can.
Big Cecil McCarthy just on the left-hand side of your screen there. He thought he turned that one over. 3 penalties already in the second half Nottingham Trent have conceded. Craven up over halfway, taken well by McPherson. Clean ball from him at the last line-up, seems a good option. Finley comes in. Jared Leet clashes with Cecil McCarthy in midfield. It's a pretty big dump truck to be running into.
It's a good read from the Nottingham centre there.
He didn't bring Davis down, he got a second bite at the cherry, and he goes up as far as the 10-metre line. Here is Lewis, looks to find Bailey, and does. Bailey gallops towards the 22 again, gets the ball away to Cox. God, he's carried well in this 45 minutes of the match so far. Here he goes for his second hit up in quick succession. 7 metres short, Sam Bailey needs to present it now. Referee takes a good look at that, gives him plenty of time. Lewis, again, good pressure comes on, can't get the offload away, so they'll be without an outside half here. Findlay instructs the boys where he wants them. They're under the sticks, they're 8 metres short, it's spilled out the side, and that's the chance gone. Now Trent need to clear. Rafter's the one who picks up the pieces. And that's twice they've been foiled in the 5 minutes so far in this second half. Clearance kick misses touch though, and it's Spencer who gathers it on the right hand side. Jared Leet deals with one, then another, then goes out of the back door again. Goes to ground, the crowd like that.
He's loving that pass tonight.
And a bit unnecessary. The problem is when you get away with one, you want to do it every time. And Jamie Cox drives the feet eventually. He's wrestled to the floor. Confidence oozing through Loughborough at the moment. Little chip to chase. Cameron Wilkins can't get on the end of it.
I think it's unfortunate it was Wilkins on the edge there. I think if that was a winger, maybe a bit more footballing skills, he might have been able to nudge his way through.
That is a huge collision there from Leet, and he wound himself up into the second one as well. Jacob Rafter proving a little bit more of a sturdy challenge.
Yeah, Jared making his move back to prop. Shout out to Jared, who tried to make his change to back row. Didn't go too well. Don't know if he was doing it for the rig or for his actual rugby ability.
Well, he certainly carried like one there. 47 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. No scores yet in the second half. Just the one missed penalty from Josh Lewis. And from Loughborough's perspective, I think they'll be wanting to score in this period of ascendancy. Sam Ripper-Smith on as a second half replacement wearing number 20.
Yeah, that's not someone you want to see coming on at 47 minutes. It's going to be a real issue for those Nottingham boys, Sam coming off after a long injury.
Making his presence felt. Plenty of open space to run into here for James Spencer. He's brought down at the first time of asking. Kick bounces up nicely there for Branco, and he gets around the first defender. And a dangerous player in open space. Davis comes back to make the tackle.
Yeah, he's really dangerous every single time he's had ball in hand, the full-back. I think he's causing us some issues, got some good footwork, and he's getting around the edge of boys.
2 knock-ons there from the referee. Sorry, 2 knock-ons there from Trent, spotted by the referee. Not sure if it counts if he does it.
Yeah, that's good. Good defensive pressure from the Loughborough boys on the edge there. I think they're doing well to keep Trent in their half. I think if Trent want to start playing a bit more on their terms, going to have to start using that win when they get ball in hand and getting rid of it and getting it in our 22.
It's been a characteristic over the last few weeks, particularly around that ruck area. You're not committing a lot of bodies, but the lift is pretty ferocious, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Bath 36, Exeter 21. Goodness me. Bath turning up in force there, but yes, going back to that defensive pressure close to the ruck from Loughborough.
Sorry, yeah, as I was saying, Jim Henry been doing some real tough work with us over the last few weeks in that ball presentation, ruck clear work, looking at actually making that first man far more effective than making the right decisions if we're going to latch over the ball, if we're going to go through and fire and try and take that man out, and actually working on getting him on his back, so less to attack at.
Has Jim Henry ever talked to you about his days as the most feared doorman in Loughborough?
He might have mentioned it once or twice, nearly as many times as he asked me to shout him out tonight, so that's probably why I keep mentioning him.
He's been involved with the setup for many years here at Loughborough Students. And again the scrum for Loughborough goes forward. Kilgallen, he's got good footwork at the back.
Yeah, as I said, it's one thing he's really been working on over the last few weeks, really working at the back of that scrum.
One off the training ground here for Loughborough. Spencer steps inside, doesn't want to get isolated, and the reinforcements arrive up the blind side, and then Ripper-Smith runs into Eden Kelly, who's come on as a second half substitute for Nottingham Trent. Eden Kelly probably played at Twickenham more times than he's played at Lady Bay from his days with Queggs Wakefield. Oh, the offload not quite coming off there. Spencer looking to free the hands.
Yeah, Spencer's looking a threat today, but I think the back line just need to look to keep it to hand, play the way we have in the first half, because that's how we got those first 27 points. So I think we need to keep it like that, keep it in hand, and actually look to attack the way we have.
Here's Spencer. There's a hand from Alex Goebel. Who else has he looked to put Atfield in? Backfield wearing 14, but spending plenty of time on the left-hand side.
Yeah, 13 for Trent's all over the place. Played very well today.
You've got plenty of time, Max, but just to warn you, you'll be selecting the Yoti player of the match on 75 minutes. 75. Can be from either team, but we'll do a presentation at the end of the match, and you are the selector.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, here's an opportunity for Trent. Where has this come from? Out of the side of the maul and into the 22. Barreling forward, and this is the first time Trent have been anywhere near in this second half. There's Goebel, finds Branco. What a tackle that is. Graham could have been in a bit of space, but Branco held on. And it's gone forward again.
That's great scramble defence. Serious attack from Trent there. Looked really dangerous. Don't know who it was who broke off the edge of that maul. Is that a hooker?
He's come on as a second half substitute. Tell you what, he's got some velocity going forward as well.
Whoever said forwards can't run.
Well, they've certainly put that theory to bed this evening. And there's Branco. In fact, he did the right thing to hold on then. I think they had Harry Graham covered, but just as it looked like it was coming forward, it was Ethan Hughes.
As I said, been putting a real emphasis this week on sort of that hammer call that we're using at the moment to get off the line in the 15. So really pushing up hard when they're in the 15 channel, making sure we're putting loads of pressure on them and sort of being a bit soft in midfield and looking to keep our defensive line intact.
Well, the home supporters might be pretty chilly out there, but they'll certainly be enjoying what they're seeing. A scoreless second half, but not short of incident. With those fancy dresses just sneaking in there as well. That's a pretty good effort in the middle there.
I'm sure they'll warm up in Fusion after the game.
Fusion, goodness me.
Does that bring back memories?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It used to be called Boca in, I don't know, you were probably in nursery. 52 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Pressure deep in the Loughborough 22. But the scrum has been pretty solid as Kilgallen goes blind, gets around the first man, tackled towards the touchline. Doesn't want to be spending too long around there.
They'll look to get to the 15 here, and I think they'll look to box kick again if they're playing off how we usually play.
Pretty flat kick there from Lewis. Bounces up nicely for Branco. He's got a last minute change of direction to give him that advantage going into the contact zone. Murray. The boys out to his right-hand side as Davis Moore gets bundled back by Sam Bailey, but gets the offload again. Away. Second carry for Tommy Collingwood. Now Cecil McCarthy having a dart, makes 5 metres so easily. He's had a pretty quiet 50 metres. Not known as an 80-minute player. He's been out there for 50 so far, and it's gone forward again. Pau Gimeno, the guilty party this time.
Yeah, I think Nottingham are struggling a bit to get some go forward in their forwards, which is therefore giving them a bit of a struggle in the backs also. I think Loughborough are doing a real good job of getting off the line and actually really attacking them defensively, which, as I said, is causing them issues down the line.
Into the final half an hour of BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Nottingham Trent spending a little bit of time in Loughborough's half here. But twice they've had the opportunity to attack the line. Twice the ball has gone forward on a night that thus far has not belonged to them.
Yeah, I think Scott Hall had a bit of issue tackling Kilgallen off the back of that scrum a few phases back. Hopefully see him out there. He's had a good game so far.
They got a full complement, so now we can go, yeah? Time on. Cheers, lads.
Pretty hefty strapping to that left elbow.
It looked like he was being walked off the side of the pitch, unfortunately.
We did, yeah. Being patient.
Jacob Rafter still there on the open side. Ethan Hughes has gone in at blind side. We're in number 20.
Fine. Set.
Kilgallen goes again, picks well and dummies there just as James Davis thought that he was going to be flying through a gap.
That's a hell of a clear out from Ripper.
And the kick turns the 15 as well. Chance to chase here. Oh, it's fumbled by Pau Jimeno. That's his second fumble in quick succession, but recovers well and puts a cannon on that. What a boot that is from the Trent number 11.
That just shows how much that wing can help when you're back in that 22.
Well, he needed that as well. Difficult to put a chase on when the kick goes that deep. But again, Trent back where they need to be. 15 minutes of this second half gone.
I think if Trent are going to make a stand, they're going to have to make it pretty soon with about 25 minutes left on the clock.
And the crowd really finding their voices now. Seems to be making as much noise as they were when there were 4,000 of them up at the football pitch at the other side of campus. Archie McPherson proving a safer option in the line out as the maul goes forward.
Out, you come, out!
In between, halfway in the 10 metre. Oh, lovely line there. Just going behind, but fingertip stuff from Will Findlay. He's got Spencer inside him, but goes alone. Now the offload comes, gets ripped off Spencer. Referee happy that that's gone backwards, I believe, but does bring them forward. Oh, he waited his sweet time there.
I looked like it was ripped in the tackle, but the referee obviously thought differently.
Let's take a look at this break. Will Findlay finding Lewis on a lovely line, and Spencer overran it, but Findlay was their lovely support line.
Yeah, I wonder if Findlay should have just kept. Oh no, he looked like he'd been tackled to touch. Yeah, nice from J. Lou there at 10, looking like he's just holding off and going to use the hands, and then just hits that hard line. Bit of change of pace, nice come through on that hole.
Well, it's a Trent put in, but I expect some serious pressure here from Loughborough students. I expect Jamie Murray to want this in and out pretty quickly. Craven waits, hands on hips. Penny for his thoughts. And here comes the pressure. Oh, it's gone forward, has it? Yes! Oh, Nottingham Trent at 1s and 2s.
Yeah, Trent have just really been struggling in that scrum area, I think. I think Brooksy and Jared, and the whole front three, and the whole front five really have just been really putting some pressure on them.
Well, Exeter and Bath is the BUCS Super Rugby Classic of the week by the looks of things. Bath 36, Exeter 28. Not long left in that when it kicked off a little bit earlier than this. So 2 scores remaining, couple of changes being made for Nottingham Trent. Branco and Turner going off. So Trent looked to add some reinforcements in the second row. What a time to come on in the engine room. The scrum going backwards. Keep your eye on Ollie Kilgallen here.
And Trent brought on some more front row as well. Loose head. Is that Trimmer?
Set.
There's a carbon copy of where Kilgallen scored from in the first half. It's going forward. Penalty coming, but it won't matter at all. Ollie Kilgallen gets his second. That's the bonus point, and that could well be the ball game. Loughborough 32, Trent 3.
I mean, Kilgallen doing a serious job to finish those, but that's all coming from the scrum. Brooksy is Rod. I think Jared's still on. Coxey at the front. Second row's really putting their work together, and that's just he's reaping the rewards from their hard work. But yeah, great control at the back from Kilgallen, and a great finish again.
Didn't look as easy this time. He was stood up. Jamie Murray did well to begin with, but attempting to rip the ball against a player as strong as Ollie Kilgallen, it's only going to end one way, and that is with a second score for the big number 8. He just loves playing against Nottingham Trent.
Yeah, he was seriously good in the first game against them as well. I think he'll be really proud of that, because last few weeks I think he struggled a bit at the base, as I was mentioned before. He's done really, really well at controlling that, being confident at the back, and obviously it's made a bit easier with the go forward that the scrum are giving him.
And that one's been faded through the poles by Lewis. Loughborough 34, Nottingham Trent 3. Good angle of this here. The scrum half's gone high, but there was nobody in behind him.
There's no stopping him from there, really, is there?
And number 9.
I don't know where he's running off to, though. There's nothing behind there, Ollie.
I think he spotted the camera.
Watch your head.
Speaking of spotting the camera, Still 20 minutes to go here, coming up to an hour gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Loughborough students looking for their first win of the season. And they are in pole position against Nottingham Trent.
It's a great take. Archie at first had been really strong under our ball, showing shades of his older brother Macca from a few years back.
A family affair.
I think this game has just really shown the intent we're looking to put forward for the rest of the season when it comes to playing at home, trying to make it the fortress that it was a few years back, looking to probably keep a few low scores for the opposition. We'll see another great line from Cuthbert.
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about Sam Bailey, but Dan Cuthbert's worked pretty hard as well. That's Tom Walsh. This is making his way on the pitch.
Cuthbert's first start in the BUCS Super Rugby tournament as well. Fresher this year, started in Group 2, coming up into the BUCS training for his first tough game against Hartbury last week. But he's definitely showed what he's made of tonight. Great performance.
So when you say Group 2, you're referring to the sort of lower BUCS teams. What's the setup here at Loughborough?
So coming at pre-season around July with your performance squad, that's about 60 boys. So we've got that's normally consisting of BUCS 1 and your National 1 side as the National 1 season starts earlier. Group 2 come in about September time, and you're normally looking at sort of your BUCS 2 boys out of that, and then you've got Group 3, Group 4. But Cuthbert done a good job to come up and impress the coaches in his first few weeks, moving up into the performance squad pretty rapidly.
So as you arrive as a fresher, if you get yourself into one of the lower groups, you've got the opportunity to impress, and there is the chance to play in BSR or the National League.
Definitely. Look at Cuthbert, look at James Gallagher. We've got another lad higher up in the club who's been here a few years, Musa Youssef. He moved up from BUCS 4, and I said Gally's testament to that, playing in BUCS 1 and putting in man of the match performance nearly every week.
Goebel busting through the tackle again there to bring Trent towards the 22. It's not been their day going forward today, and they lose ground once again. Oh, smashing hit. They managed to get the ball away. It's out of the back door from Goebel. It's flair stuff, but coming out of the line. This is the first time this season we've seen Loughborough with their tails up, and they're putting on a show.
Ripper Smith looking like he's using all that fitness he's got in the tank after a long bit of injury on that running up and big hit, but he looks like he's down at the moment. Hopefully all the best for him.
Well, when you've not been playing, you forget how much those collisions hurt, even when you win them.
Yeah, definitely.
But he has left one on Craven there.
He looks alright. I think he's just taking a break. I think for Trent, they really need to start getting some go forward. They need to keep that ball in the hands of the forwards and actually give themselves a good setup to actually play off.
I think they've built their reputation this season on quite a fearsome pack. They've beaten a few teams up, but they've not had the opportunity to do so today. I think 1 to 8 in particular, Loughborough have been very strong.
Yeah, speaking to their coach before the game, I think that, not taking away from Loughborough at all, because they've completely outdone them in most of the facets of the game, I think, in my opinion, but I think they have said they're missing a few players. I think their second row, who was playing in the first game against us, is missing. A few other lads were named as well, but Jamie Jack at Loosehead, him and Gally went head-to-head with each other last match we came against, so they've got a few boys missing, but I think we have as well, so it's been a good competition.
David Williams in the centres as well, he makes a huge difference.
I think they both can be said for both teams, so I mean, I don't think it's an excuse either way.
Crouch!
Jamie Murray still out there. And now goes up against Tom Walsh in the battle of the scrum halves. Trent looked to come forward again. Nice short ball there off Max Craven.
Craven's looked to get in his stride a bit more. Good turnover from Loughborough though, slowing ball down. I think that's Ripper Smith. Got his energy back.
So he's coming off the back of an injury.
Yeah, Ripper's been out for a while. He's struggled with a few head knocks, but looking to get back into it now. He's taking his time off that he needs to take off. Took a little bit of a sabbatical. Coming back, looking fit, looking sharp in training the last few weeks. Earned his space back on the bench, and looks to hopefully have him coming back through into the National 1 squad, or maybe even starting in the BUCS squad.
Certainly made an impact here off the bench, and after a long layoff like that, it really does make a difference to come into a winning team as well, doesn't it? You feel like you've never been away.
Yeah, I don't know how. It probably been a bit more tricky for him coming in last week when we were taking a bit of a toll in the first half, especially fitness-wise. I think it's nice to come in when you're playing on top. But on the other hand, I mean, on-top rugby normally means fast rugby, and I mean, he may be struggling a bit with that.
There's Henry Trimmer getting some attention, replacement front rower. We don't want to lose too many more players. We've got a score update from up in Yorkshire. Leeds Beckett looking like they're getting back to winning ways. Cardiff University still looking for their first victory. They've been competitive in a lot of games, and you and I spoke about this at the start. When Trent came in, they found it difficult to, well, goodness me, sorry to cut you off there, Max, but Hartbury looked to be ending Durham's winning run in quite some style, and by the end of round 5 there will be no undefeated teams remaining in BUCS Super Rugby. Hartbury 45, Durham 12.
As you said, after 5 rounds, I think that just shows the nature of the competition itself. No one undefeated, shows anything can happen week after week. I mean, look at this game here, first week of fixtures, they get the win against us, bonus point win, bonus point loss. And then, 4 weeks later, we're coming away with a bonus point win, not even giving them a sniff, really.
Well, a tight league has been turned on its head this evening as that one's fumbled forward. Was it gathered by McPherson?
I think he managed to hold it.
Well, some juggling skills there as Loughborough ring the changes again. There is Ripper Smith. Runs into trouble, gets that one ripped off him, and Graham puts boot to ball and chases his own nudge there back to the 22. Don't think the referee will bring them back for advantage. McPherson eventually getting hold of that. And it's scruffy, but it's clear into touch from Loughborough. Spencer doing the dirty work end over end.
I mean, I think that's how Trent should have been playing for about 10 minutes previous to this. I think they need to get their hands on ball and just absolutely hoof it down the field, use that win to their advantage like Loughborough did in the first half.
I was thinking about opportunities that they've had in the Loughborough half. I think there have only been 2 in this second half, and they've both ended up with knock-ons. But in 25 minutes of rugby, wind assisted, you'd expect them to have used the territory a lot better than they have.
Yeah, I think it's been tough for them. I think Loughborough have got off the line pretty fast, got on their faces, maybe made it a bit difficult to make a platform for them. But I think they'll hopefully stay down here for their benefits now and try and move on a bit with the game.
It's a good tackle there on Rafter. As Loughborough showed last week, they scored. Oh, it's gone forward again. That's another criminal knock-on from Nottingham Trent. As Loughborough showed last week, the game was gone, but they still managed to get a try, scoring bonus points as Geary cruises through the middle over the 10-metre line looking for support. It hasn't arrived yet. Eventually it gets there, and it's Ripper Smith, the first to answer the call. Nearly had that one ripped off him, but manages to hold on. Trent managed to reset. There should be numbers here though for Loughborough. Spencer with the men outside him for the corner. Oh, but just out on the far side, a sweeping counter-attack there from Loughborough students. Nottingham Trent holding on, and just again, as we were talking about Trent putting an anchor down in the Loughborough half, they are right back on their own line.
Yeah, that's great covering defence from Trent there. I think maybe Spenny should have given that one phase earlier. I think drawn the 2-on-1, I think the dummy sort of slowed it down a bit and made it easier for them to come across and make that tackle. But great attacking play by Loughborough and great hands by Jared Lee in the middle of the pitch there.
10. Just watch your dummy runners, just to ensure they're not interfering with play.
And there's big Sam Bailey. I think his race is run for the evening. He's making his way.
We're ready, George, yes?
Yeah, Bailey's put in a great shift tonight. Great to see Lewis coming on, another young lad coming through our fresher ranks at the moment, looking to make an impact now.
Straight up as well. And this time, Nottingham Trent do try and relieve some pressure with the maul. They've put themselves under enormous pressure. Harry Graham started on the wing. I think he's going to finish the game at scrum half. He's equally comfortable there. In fact, he's playing for Trent. He's relatively local to the area as well, a Southall lad. Spent a bit of time at both Tigers and Falcons Academy.
Yeah, Loughborough look to capitalise on the position here. Be interested to see how many men they go for in this line-out.
Hold the hooker, please. Hooker, George, he's doing a shoelaces. Okay.
And just to confuse matters for Loughborough, they've made another change, and Sam Roberts also wears 20. So we've got 220s. Goodness me, that is...
Yeah, I think that really shows what the wind's doing now.
Well, we'll put it down to the wind.
Let's hope so. I think that's what the hook will blame it on.
So Sam Roberts is wearing 20, as is Sam Rippers-Smith. We've got a final score, and Bath have held on. Bath 36, Exeter 31. So Bath again close one out from inside a converted tries distance. 36-31, some game that. And they win 3 in a row after falling to defeat at Rosslyn Park against Durham.
He's looked sharp all game, 15 for Trent, really active. Really impressed with him all game.
Since Collingwood's come on, the number 16, he's caused some damage too. Carry there for Cecil McCarthy, hasn't really had the impact that he's had as Max Craven goes volleyball style that time.
Tackle!
Add that to the list of his sports. I think Cecil's looked good throughout the game. I just can't help wondering if he's maybe a bit tired now. Big lad, moving towards 70 minutes. It's a long shift for someone his size.
Yeah, he's not got a reputation as an 80-minute man, can be very explosive.
I can't remember what time Gallagher came off, but Brooksy can't be far off doing a bit of time like that.
Yeah, that's a fair shift. I think it was about half an hour where Galley came off. Fingers crossed not too serious for him, because he's having a great season in that number 3 jersey.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit of time out to sort out that shoulder. It's been causing a bit of issues this week, but he's keen to play every week, so hopefully he'll be back fit and raring to go.
Oh, that's the thing. You're all so young, you see. Once you get to your late 20s, early 30s, you can't wait for a week off.
Doesn't hurt as much in the morning, unlike you, Dave.
After the match, I'll tell you about my rip-roaring 30 minutes for London Cornish 2s a couple of weeks ago. Approaching the final 10 minutes here, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Trent looking to get something from what's been a pretty grim afternoon here. But once again, they cough up possession in the danger area.
Loughborough really look like they're enjoying this now. They have for the last 10 minutes, I think. Really felt like they're on top. I don't think there's any chance of Trent coming back now.
Well, if they do, then fair play. I wonder who's enjoying it more, those two or the players out there on the pitch.
They haven't got a social waiting for them after the game.
Still can't decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Crouch!
Loughborough Students 34, Nottingham Trent 3. In 5 minutes time, Max, I'm going to be asking you for the Yoti player of the match.
Got a few candidates in mind as of now.
Well,
narrow it down towards a 5-minute mark.
Do you know what? Tease us and talk us through all of them, because there have been some brilliant performances today as Tom Walsh digs that one out, finds Jamie Harding. And Holly Kilgallen stayed down after that one. The man of the match last time these teams met. He's picked up a brace of tries today. Depth on that box kick. Bit of a chip into space, finally using the wind, but it is straight down the winger's throat. And fullback's throat, should I say. James Spencer was stood there on the right-hand side. And this time, it's Loughborough with a rare mistake. Ollie Kilgallen looks pretty uncomfortable down there.
Yeah, it's been a big shift for him this evening. I think he might just be feeling it a bit towards the end. Being very physical, made a lot of yards for Loughborough tonight, a lot of carries, a lot of tackles. Something tells me he could be alright in about half an hour's time.
Trying to look at some of these Loughborough players and thinking what costumes I'd be giving them. Please tell me that Galley's going as Pumba.
I suggested Mr. Potato Head. No, can't actually remember. Oh, he's going as Mickey Mouse.
Of course he is.
And he's also club chair, so he normally gets to pick the best outfits.
Oh, is he? Club chairman, is he? What an accolade.
Okay, gents.
I don't know which one he's more proud of. Walsh will really look to number 21. Tom Walsh looked to inject some energy into this last 10 minutes. Felt like he probably could have come on maybe 5-10 minutes earlier last week. He brings a lot of energy. Finley's very good at our game management, but then Walsh is just so electric around the breakdown that it's probably worth bringing in all of that last 10 minutes, 50 minutes to go, especially against a big Hartbury pack like we played last week.
17 early shot. 17.
Well, another free kick. Another infringement at the scrum for Nottingham Trent. I don't think it'll take any particular rugby expert to know what they'll be working on in training this week.
Yeah, I think Loughborough have just looked really strong, full stop.
Well, they've gone straight down the middle with the kick. They put some pressure on. Trent have let it bounce. It's gone forward again, and Loughborough have recovered it back into the 22. Ripper Smith, the advantage coming here, so it's a free go at it. Tom Walsh has a snipe. Another referee says play on.
That is inside.
All go here as, speaking of shifts, it was Jared Leet coming over the top there. Yeah. 70 minutes from him, still with the energy to make that hit through the middle.
Jared's looked very impressive tonight, which I hate to say.
Good to know that team spirit's alive and well. Little tip on there as Craven dabs it through but gets bundled to the ground.
I don't want my twin getting all the accolades.
A couple of minutes till the Yoti man of the match, Jamie Harding, the replacement hooker.
Advantage, not straight.
Jamie Harding having a little bit less luck with his darts this time as Alexander Cruz makes the tackle. He's on wearing number 22 in that light scrum cap. Carried forward by Davis Moore. He's captain the team. He's been quite the talisman throughout the season. However, not had a lot of luck on the ball today. Well, Jack leaves to get some attention. Well, he does get that medical attention. Tee us up a little bit and talk about some of the performances that have impressed you for both sides this evening as we work towards the Yoti player of the match.
Well, I think overall the Packs had a great game for Loughborough. It's been a bit unfortunate for the Nottingham Trent boys. I think they've just been a bit overpowered. I thought Craven's come out and had a good second half. I think Ben Davis Moore for them looked dangerous. Obviously Alex Goebel always looking tough for them in the back line, almost playing like a bit of a back row. But looking again at the Loughborough team, Jay Lou, number 10 for us, he's looked sharp, managing to boss around that team, looking like he's got it all sorted out in the back line. But I think we're going to have to look in the forward pack for a man of the match today. Obviously Ollie Kilgallen looking immense. Obviously, as you said earlier, he looks like he likes to come out and play against Trent. But yeah, I think today, I think the man of the match is going to have to be number 1, Jared Leet, my twin.
Well, there he is, having a laugh with the referee. He's got the energy too after a big 75 minutes.
He's got through a hell of a lot of work, looked dominant in the scrum, and he's been very, very impressive today, in my opinion.
Congratulations, Jared Leet. You are the Yoti player of the match. And do stick with us after the match as well, because we'll be bringing you live reaction. We'll be catching up with either Jared Mullen or Nathan Smith, whichever one we get to first, and of course presenting the Yoti player of the match to Jared Leet as well. Nottingham Trent look to get something from the match. Lovely offload out of the back door, and they're on to the 22, Kitano Branco. He's certainly been a candidate for Trent. He's not stopped running from full back. We approach the final minutes, and Trent looking for crumbs of comfort here as Rafter runs into the man of the match who makes the tackle, Jared Leet.
Raft hasn't stopped either. Forgot to mention the fullback for Trent as well. He's looked dangerous every single time he's got his hands on ball.
Dan Lamb's in there for Trent. Harry Graham. Scrum half, of course. Lovely short ball. Back, says the referee. It just hasn't gone Max Craven's way today. On another day, that sticks in Graham's breadbasket. And they are under the sticks.
I think that sums Loughborough up tonight. Archie McPherson working really, really hard. He's putting a huge shift all night, working hard through that ruck.
And into the final throws. Just the one converted score in the second half. Is there time for any more? Josh Lewis out of nowhere dabs for the corner after another huge collision. Just bounces up there. Sam Roberts with the offload. Tom Walsh under the sticks. And Loughborough students save the best till last. It's 5 tries, it's 40 points, and it's the first victory of the season. They've dispatched Nottingham Trent. It's 39-3, the conversion to come, and that is a complete performance.
Josh Lewis looking like a serious wrecking ball coming through there, and if that doesn't make tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
Well, the crowd respond, and rightly so. They've been treated to a feast this evening. 5 tries for the home team, none for the visitors, and that was the pick of the bunch.
I think the replacement Sam Roberts did really well there. Ball bounced behind him, managed to gather it well and put that nice little ball inside to Walsh, who I spoke about earlier.
That's a back rower that the outside half's put away there. Lovely handling there from Sam Roberts with the dummy outside. Great support line there, classic scrum half in open play, and Tom Walsh gets over the whitewash. Surely this will be 40 points.
Apparently the Trent man kicked it away, so you can take your time.
I think Loughborough can take more pride of the defensive shift they put in tonight as well. I know Nathan Smith will be really, really happy with that. Been hammering it into us the last few weeks about defence and how important that is and how much that win games. I think 3 points against Trent, a strong Trent side, is really admirable.
Conversion successful, and it is 40. And with just that one blemish on his record from the tee, Josh Lewis has had a fantastic 80 minutes this evening.
I don't know how many points it is altogether off the tee for him, but yeah, as you said, he's been seriously impressive.
16.
It's a nice little bundle for him.
And with confidence running through his veins, he finds touch again into the wind. And on another day, he could certainly have been a contender for man of the match.
Yeah, he was definitely top 3.
What a full-time score, and Hartbury have put Durham to the sword, 57-17. Well, Durham have had 3 very tight wins, but they've come unstuck in a big way today. And Hartbury, well, that is pretty ominous. Since that defeat to Leeds Beckett, they've done a number on Loughborough, and they have, well, stuffed Durham out of sight there.
Come on, David, not in front of me.
Suggestion that could be a forward pass. Referee says no.
I think we may have teed Durham up for that. I think we started Hartbury's train going a bit.
And again, I think that shows just how impressive that performance by Leeds Beckett was, because to keep Hartbury from a try-scoring bonus point is very, very impressive indeed.
Yeah, they're big lads down the Gloucester way. They always have been. Played them a few times in the Ace colleges as well, and they've always been seriously impressive. I think they were 5 or 6 on the bounce. In
the Ace colleges, they take the mickey.
Yeah, they're a serious outfit.
I watched them 2 weeks ago, just before the Hartbury Beckett game actually, and they played what looked like a very good Exeter Ace team and put 60 points on them.
Yeah, they're very, very good. Fair play to Trent tonight. They're seriously sticking at it. Don't look like they've quit yet.
It's been gutsy from Nottingham Trent, and they've certainly not given up. It hasn't clicked for them today. And here's Max Craven. That's more like what we expect to see from him, but Roberts pounces on this one. Has he got another one in the tank? Gets past the first tackle, dragged down, gets the offload away. Kilgallen in search of the hat-trick, even puts boot to ball. That'd be a fine in my day, but Spencer chases it. Well done, Kitano Branco. Pressure on here for Trent, could be another for Loughborough. The clock goes red. I think that'll be game over. Ollie Kilgallen thinks there might be a try here. Let's have a listen to this.
The impression was try, but he's in an offside position. So I'm thinking penalty against Waite on the restart. Offside against 15.
Roll by 16, White allowed him to be there, 6.
No try.
I think the ref might have got it wrong there. I think when the ball goes behind the try line, the offside line actually doesn't exist. So if Ollie Kilgallen's put it down behind the try line, that's a try to Loughborough.
Well, that sums up Max Craven's evening, doesn't it? Does so well. But then Sam Roberts gets the offload away. What about this from Ollie Kilgallen? Inch perfect kick. The chase comes from Spencer. Branco Thinks he's done well.
Yeah, I think the ball roll. I think the ref potentially has got that right. It's rolled back onto the field, and it wasn't behind the line. Sorry, ref.
Well, our clock's gone red. The clock has stopped inside the stadium as well. So we're counting down the minutes here to Loughborough students' opening victory of the season, and what a comprehensive one it's been in an evening of massive scores. Loughborough 41, Nottingham Trent 3.
Knock on by one.
I think Trent will be keen to just knock this ball out.
Celebrations. Nottingham Trent looked dejected. It was gutsy from them, but they've been outclassed this evening. And Loughborough students are off the mark. The first win of the season for the men in African Violet. Full time, Loughborough 41, Nottingham Trent 3.
Yeah, Trent did well there to stay in the fight. Loughborough looked secure the whole way. Obviously a good early start that we've worked on over the last few weeks, getting that first 10 and that second 10 which come out for the half. I think plaudits to the Trent boys, they stuck at it, but Loughborough looked confident and secure.
Well, we'll be bringing you interviews with the man of the match, Jared Leet, and the winning coach as well. Before that, let's take a look at all of Loughborough's scores. The first one there, coming from Aaron Tate, seems a long way, seems like a long time ago now. All came from that good work from Spencer. But Max, a couple of monkeys have been shifted off the back in the last week. The last 5 days, really. The first victory of the season in National 1, now the first BUCS Super Rugby victory. A real chance to show the world how you can play, but more importantly, build some momentum.
Yeah, I think throughout the week, Jacob Ford, BUCS coach, has been really talking to us about the Loughborough style of play, and also, well, he's nicknamed it the Loughborough way. I think we're really looking to play that kind of style, as shown by Jared here, offloading to Bailey, looking to play on top, looking to play our style of rugby, and not sort of conforming to the way that other teams play that may not fit our style.
Well, there was the first of Kilgallen's tries. Well, he was the second of Kilgallen's tries, and he's just lethal from 5 metres, isn't he? Of course, it's an 8's dream to be playing behind a pack like that, but you've still got a job to do, and he certainly did that tonight.
Yeah, cheeky little high five to Will Brown there. Kilgallen's obviously enjoying himself tonight. It's great to see him having that buzz back.
Well, that was the bonus point try, but this was perhaps the pick of the bunch. Josh Lewis. Been doing those squats in power bases, Lewis. Lovely little nudge there. Sam Roberts looked sharp when he came on, actually. Looked
really sharp. Been playing sort of down in the BUCS 2 side, got the call up today, and he's obviously taken his opportunity. But yeah, Ford be seriously proud of that bump from J. Lou.
Loughborough 41, Nottingham Trent 3 is the full-time score. And let's take a look at some of the highlights from the live match we brought you last week, where Joe Burns commentated on Bath versus Leeds Beckett.
Their way in. Well, the line out goes to the big man Okafor correctly this time, but it spills through his hands and it gives Bath an opportunity to attack on the counter. It's Partington, he's one-on-one with the fullback. He offloads, he finds Finn Murphy, who uses those feet, and he's in to raise the roof of the wreck and open the scoring for the brothers. Bath are really finding the gaps out wide here at the moment, and it's a big carry from Adam Thresher, who comes from Swansea University on a master's course at the moment, known as an enforcer. Well, he's enforcing himself on the game right here as Bath are inches from the line. They're driving over, and it's a try by sheer force of will. He looks for the ball fretfully at the base of the ruck, and it goes out the back to Steph James, out wide, who finds his second row. It's out to the wing. A little bit of footwork. Has he been able to slide in? Yes, he has. Will Lewin, known as the Mantis, puts a bit of footwork in, and he slides in that left-hand corner, and that is just the response that Leeds Beckett would have wanted.
Yeah, a shame that we couldn't sort of keep them out after the missed line-out throw, but we just got outstretched slightly, so I think that's something that we might look to target sort of come second half, with the remainder of the half that we're in, and just really sort of look to hammer in on their line-out, because it's a point where we can sort of look to get the ball back.
Like he spotted a penalty infringement, he gives it. The scrum half goes quickly while Bath are napping, and it is going to be the most opportunistic of tries for Dan Grant Adamson. The man they signed from Ealing caught the brothers napping, and he's turned the scoreboard around to the colour purple as Beckett lead Bath 15 points to 12.
Yeah, sharp play there from their 9. He asked for the penalty and he got it, and he went and he scored, so fair play to him.
Need to get their hands out of there. No, they don't. They've won the ball back, and here's transition ball, which is the most threatening, and Ed Rivers on the charge. Ed Rivers go and score. He's opening up the scoring in this second half to send the Bath crowd into riot.
That's a perfect start for us, just exactly what we needed.
What a bit of vision. He looked up from that transition ball. It is the most lethal ball for any defence, and he glides through, fending off Steph James. Okafor isn't a match for his face. He puts the footwork on, and Charlie Venables is chasing ghosts all the way to the try line. And it's into the forwards again. A lot of the Beckett defence have been sucked in. They go out the back door. It just needs to go. Hands will do it. It's a sloppy one. It's a great pickup from Partington, who then again puts feet on again. Chris Barry's on the ball, who puts the ball inside and finds the replacement, Jack Kellingham, to send the wreck into raptures.
Yeah, great try for it there from the boys. Not too sure why it didn't go down first time, but hey, as long as we've scored, and that's the bonus point now as well, I'm just happy about that.
A sensational pickup right off the bootlaces from Partington. Like every good number 7, Chris Barry was in support, and then a man you mentioned to us, the Queen's Academy senior star, a fresher here at Bath, has come off the bench and made an immediate impact.
Yeah.
He's caught by his bootlaces, and it's a pick up and go from another replacement, Hayden Thompson-Green. The ex-Sedbergh man looks like he may have muscled his way over, and that's going to change the game.
Yeah, not quite sure how he squeezed over there, but fair play to him. He's found his way to the line.
It was consistent wrestling all the way to the line. It looked like they got him down, but he kept pumping and pumping with his piston legs. He's been impeccable all evening from the tee, and the script does not change for that crucial conversion. And James is our Yoti man of the match, but this movie isn't over. Do we have an ending that no one could have anticipated as Bath go on the attack once more? Austin Hay, big board Austin Hay, you can't miss him in the middle, and his legs are pumping. The replacement, he's full of beans, but the ball spilled out illegally, it's deemed, and that is massive.
Not sure how long's left, but
Stephen James as the man of the match. Graphic comes up, he puts his head in his hands. He cannot believe that the penalty has gone against him. And he splits the post to the roar of the Bath faithful. There is still time for the kickoff, so the job is not done. But Bath lead Beckett 29 points to 27. He's not shy of work by any stretch of the imagination. The referee no longer has his hand out. Is he still playing advantage? It's another knock on from Beckett under the pressure of the blue blanket of the brothers, and he blows the final whistle to send the wreck mad. In the most dramatic of finishes in a game that ebbed and flowed throughout, when it felt that the away team had come to spoil the bath party once more. It all came down to a Hugo Styles kick in front of the sticks to slot the brothers to their second victory of the season, breaking Beckett hearts.
Last week, but it was a comprehensive performance from the home team tonight. 41-3 was the full score, and Loughborough students are off the mark. Hang on, I'm just going to get that monkey off your back. That must be some relief.
Yeah, I don't think we're absolutely delighted. I think the manner in which the lads played tonight was outstanding. I thought our intent was excellent throughout the whole game. You know, we started well. I know in second half against the conditions as well, I thought we were excellent.
Well, what a response, not just from a revenge perspective, getting one over on Nottingham Trent, but from Hartpury last week. You managed to get that bonus point, you got the win in National 1 as well, and you've just carried that momentum through. That's the best I've seen Loughborough look for quite some time. Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, we've had some tough conversations, you know. Saturday was great to get the win, but certainly for me the training week has been excellent. We've had really good competition, and it's been very much driven by the players themselves, and for me we saw that tonight. You know, they owned it and they brought the performance in front of a big crowd. Of course, from a coach's perspective, you've got to go through your processes and do your job, but when the players turn out like that and it all comes together, that's feet up an easy street for you, isn't it? Oh, definitely. You know, again, I'm just really proud of the lads, you know. But for me, it's only our first win in BSR. I know we've got to kick on from this. We got a big test away at Durham next week. And yeah, we got to go back to back. In my opinion, you know, that starts from tonight, really. Especially after Durham have shipped 50 points at home to Hartpury. Surely that's something you're going to look at. But they're going to respond. They've got 3 tight wins. They know how to get over the line, but they'll be wounded next week, and that'll be some match. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's always a tough place to go up there. We've also had a bit of a rivalry with Durham, so you know it's going to be a tight game. I know that myself. So we've got to bring the physicality we've shown tonight, and more, really. Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to present the Yoti man of the match very shortly. It's gone to that man stood to your right. We'll bring him in a second. But before we do, is there anyone else you'd like to highlight this evening? Some great performances all around the park. Who impressed you? Yeah, I thought Josh Lewis, the fly half. You know, he's had some up and down games. But I thought tonight he was excellent. You know, he was brutal as well. He absolutely dished it a few times in his defence as well. So you know, I think he's been excellent. You know, the work the coach has done with him. You know, young Jacob Ford's new coach he brought in. I think he's done some great work. With Josh, I thought Sam Ripper-Smith, you know, he came back tonight. He's been out with concussion. I thought he was excellent off the bench, you know, and especially in the collisions and his work rate, you know. So just gave the team a lift. So those two in particular. And Ollie Kilgallen as well, getting over the try line twice. He was man of the match. He just loves playing against Nottingham Trent. Yeah. No, Ollie's been really consistent all year. You know, he's been very solid in his performances and he's really grown. So looking forward to seeing him develop. Well, this is the Yoti Player of the Match plaque, and I think we should present it to Jared Leet. Congratulations. Take that microphone off the coach and let's hear from you. Step into my office. Cheers, Jared. Thank you for your time. What a performance, and that must be such a relief, both from a personal perspective and a team perspective too. Yeah, look, we spoke about bringing intent this week, and we probably know we weren't playing as well as we wanted to throughout the start of that campaign. Like us on a Saturday, us on a Wednesday, we weren't playing how we wanted to, and we really spoke as like a squad that the intent was the thing that was missing, and our backs, our forwards brought it all the way today. The intent was there and we started scoring tries. And you've been complimented on the quality of your scrum throughout the season. Weren't at your best last week against Hartpury, but today, flawless. Yeah, like you can't take that as just the front row, like that's a whole 8 thing. Like the back 5 quality, giving us the weight through. Talking about like that sync through the Trent scrum, and we were like putting that through on the second hit and then going through them. Like it's a whole 8 situation there, and it's working well at the moment, I suppose. And of course the front row, it's not always an 80-minute game these days, but you were there start to finish, even making some big shots down in the 22 on 73 minutes. You look pretty fresh, your conditioning looks pretty good, you're feeling pretty fresh, and I assume you're just looking to kick on now off the back of the performance of the year. Yeah, look, we've got to hand that down to the S&C staff, and the boys probably not, you don't see a lot here, but they're really pushing us through conditioning wise, and we're looking to play full 80 minutes, like a whole 80 performance there, and that's what we want to do going forward in the season. More performances like that and hopefully more wins like that as well. I think anyone who was watching at home today, they'll have seen the club turn out to watch this BUCS Super Rugby team. I believe you've got a social later on this evening as well. So despite the fact it's not been going great on the field, the club seems in pretty good health here at Loughborough.
Oh yeah, we've got like great social sex. Like the boys are really doing well off the pitch. The morale's high. We just need to bring the performances on the pitch, and that's hopefully what we're going to go and do moving forward now.
What's your fancy dress tonight?
Now I think I'm an army guy, so I've got it easy. There's a few different ones there.
Well, you're the man of the match this evening. Congratulations, Yoti man of the match, and look forward to seeing you later on in the season. Congratulations for this evening. Well, Max Hill, you have got a busy evening ahead. It's been great to co-commentate alongside you, but what people can't see are the reactions of you around the game, fist pumping when things go well. That meant a lot this evening.
Yeah, it's a great result from the boys. As Jared said, we've worked really hard over the last few weeks, and I think it's just all come to fruition there.
As simple as that. I bet you're raring to go as well. Of course, you've got to sit these out. You must be incredibly proud to see the boys go forward, get 5 scores, not concede any as well, but it's no substitute for being out there and doing it yourself.
Yeah, it's been frustrating not being involved this week, but I'm looking forward to getting back out there on Saturday, giving the Roslyn Park a good go, and then hopefully coming back fit for Durham, I think, next week.
Well, the best of luck with that. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening, and you've done a good job now, so that means we'll certainly be getting you back. Remember, if like Max, you'd like to join the conversation, then we have the podcast, The BUCS Stops Here. Myself and Joe Burns, we get together every Monday, and we'd love to hear from you all. You can follow us on Insta, on Twitter, and of course use the hashtag The BUCS Stops Here. Next week's match, we are back down at Hartpury. They are rampant, 2 wins in a row and a 50-pointer to end Durham's 3-win streak. And it's an afternoon kickoff as well, so you can join us in the afternoon, then keep up to date with all of the other BUCS Super Rugby results as well. Thanks very much for joining in this evening. Loughborough off the mark. Thanks to Max Hill. Congratulations to Loughborough, but we have no doubt that Nottingham Trent will be back. Don't forget to get involved on social media. Follow BUCS Super Rugby. They do a wonderful job online. And thanks, of course, to our friends at Yoti for their continuing support. We look forward to you joining us next week. Until then, goodbye.